Scott, Nick Wolf, you had mentioned Saturday you thought it was one of the best games he's had of the season. What really stood out to you on Saturday, and what have you seen out of him kind of overall this year so far? Kind of thrust into a pretty big role after last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think, anytime you come back, for us, I think, as one of the older defensemen, the most experienced defenseman that we had coming back, I think he was just trying to do a little too much. Certainly never a lack of effort with Nicky. I mean, he plays hard, he practices hard, and I thought he was fighting the puck a little bit, and we talked to him about just simplifying the game, just kind of dumbing it down a little bit, and I thought he did that, and obviously we got what we got out of him. I thought he had a real good game and looked a little bit more like he did last year, where he wasn't pushing to do too much.
Because he's your top, your most experienced returning defenseman, is it easy sometimes to forget that he's still only a sophomore and still has some development to go at all, or do you feel like he really kind of shed that youth and everything a year ago?
Well, maybe a little bit. I mean, I think when you have guys that, I guess as a coaching staff, when you see certain guys play a certain way at a higher level and consistency, our job is to make sure they stay there or go beyond that. And sometimes guys get a little off track, and sometimes you let it go for a little bit, but it wasn't like it was terrible. It's just I think he's an effective player for us. Number one, not going in the penalty box, which I thought he did a great job last year. We need him. He's an important penalty killer for us. He's an important 5-on-5 guy for us, and for us it was just like a lot of guys. Sometimes guys try so hard to do more, they end up doing less. For him, I think it was just a matter of just kind of realizing that he doesn't have to do too much, just like any player, and it helps your game when you simplify it, and especially for a defenseman, it's get the puck to the forwards and play good defensively. And I thought he did that. I thought it was just a much quieter game for him. I'll use that word as far as just his overall game, and that's how we want him, and hopefully that's what we're going to see as we move forward.
As a defenseman, what do you feel are Nick's biggest strengths?
Well, number one, he's size. He's a big body. I think his stick is great. I think he's really learned to use his stick. I think obviously he can play with an edge, but play with the edge but don't cross the line. And I think that's one of the things we discussed again the other day, where I thought he did that last year, and so we need him. We don't need him to be in the box a lot. We need him to continue to do that. He's still going to take penalties just like anybody else would, but I just thought with the puck this year, he was just trying to do a little too much, and I think Saturday he kind of settled that down and just made the simple pass, whether it was to his partner, whether it was to a winger or centerman, and just played a real solid game.
Maine this weekend, you had a chance now to get a look at them, and what can you expect from them?
Well, I think they're a little bit heavier team. A heavier meaning, reminds me of maybe kind of the Western Michigan type teams of old, where the bigger bodies. I mean, I think they've got some skill and up front, and certainly can do some damage, but nothing overly fancy. They play the game north. They'll play hard. They get pucks to the net. Obviously, looking at the tape, Miami ran into penalty trouble, and that didn't bode very well as far as the power play and getting goals scored on them. And part of that too was they were calling it pretty tight out there, refereeing wise. So we'll see what we get. So we've got to be conscious of that. But I expect a real fun environment there. It'll be a challenge. So it'll be a good preparation for the following weekend when we go to St. Cloud.
You wanted to see more discipline Saturday against Merrimack. Do you feel like you got what you were looking for?
For the most part, I didn't necessarily like, again, the last couple penalties. Again, hopefully it's something we'll keep addressing. And it's such a fine line, just because you end up tying that game Friday when you have a lead with 6 minutes to go, and that tie might be the difference of us at the end of the year being in or being out. And I don't think guys really, I think our older guys understand it, but I think in general as a team you have to understand that. And anytime you're in a position to win a hockey game, whether you're playing in the league or outside the league, you got to find a way to win that game. And I thought we gave that game away. Certainly when you do take penalties, you got to kill them off. But I just felt that we didn't do a very good job of closing out the game the right way, and in turn we had to battle back and get a tie. And Saturday we were kind of in the same position a little bit. We had to start the period with a penalty kill, and we'd get a big kill, and we get a big goal from Peter, and we give up a goal, and then we take another penalty, and now it's 3-2, and Shep has to make a couple saves, and thank God, and from that point on, I think obviously then we pulled away, but those are situations in a game you have to learn. You have to learn, and you can't put yourself in those positions because, like we saw Friday, games can change quickly. In a matter of 3 minutes, it was a 4-2 lead to a 5-4 deficit. So, and it'll get even tougher, as we move forward here, and whether it's this weekend or into league play.
We talked a lot about your penalty kill these last few weekends, but how pleased have you been with the progress your power play's been making?
Well, it's good, I think we're keeping it a little more simple. I think, the guys have worked hard. We've done some things before practice too that I think have helped, and just getting more repetitions on some of the skills and different things that are involved in the power play, some little plays, and not necessarily against pressure all the time, and that gives guys confidence too. But again, I think we've done a better job of getting pucks to the net. I thought our second unit did a really good job of that Friday, resulted in a couple goals, and Saturday Hildy gets one to the net, kind of pinballs around, but those are the things that happen. But I think we can continue to get a goal or two on the power play. It certainly takes the burden off of the 5-on-5, and obviously those things are all important because they give you momentum, they give you a lift on the bench, and just like a big penalty kill, those are all the important things in the game. And I like where it's going right now. I'd like to see some other things cleaned up, but probably the one area we did a good job, we won faceoffs on the power play. And I thought we didn't have to start 200 feet away.
Talk about the special teams, but have you isolated with the guys, the 5-on-5? I mean, through a lot of these games, it feels like they've been the better team when you're skating 5-on-5.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that Saturday morning. I didn't feel like we were a 1-2-2 team, but that's how crazy it is. But I still want them to understand and realize they've done a lot of really good things. You can get so caught up in the records and all that stuff that you forget that you don't feel good about maybe what the good things you're doing. And I thought our team 5-on-5 has been good. Obviously, clean up the penalty kill and did some solid goaltending. Those are a couple areas that certainly can improve, and we got other areas of our game to improve, but I don't want to take away the things they've done. They've done a lot of good things, and we've had a lot of shots, we've had a lot of chances, we've played fairly well defensively, and face-offs have been better this year. So there's a lot of really good things, and it's a fun group to watch when they get going.
The 12 goals on the weekend, a couple guys get their first on the weekend for you. You feel like the whole team maybe is gripping this stick a little less tight going into this weekend?
I hope so. I mean, it was nice to get some goals, and most importantly, getting goals from different people, and that's how we're going to have to do it. I mean, I'd love to sit here and say we're going to score 12 goals on a weekend every weekend, but again, some of it is confidence, and guys that start scoring or a guy gets a goal, they always feel better because there's a lot of guys on our team that feel that's the way they're going to contribute, and if they don't score, then maybe the mindset changes a little bit. So it was important. It was an important game. It was an important win for our team, and more importantly, I liked how we played. I thought we had our best first period of the year, and I thought it was probably one of our better 60-minute games.
Deary and Shepard continue to split time in the net. Obviously seeing good things from both of them. But what goes into your decision and maybe why you continue to do that?
because neither one of them has stepped up yet. You're right. We've seen some good in both of them, and no one's. Nick got the back-to-back starts and won a game, then lost a game. Shep will probably get that this Friday after starting last Saturday. So it's up to them. If one of them wants to take it and run with it for a while, that'd be good with me. But right now, it's kind of the way it's been, just because of the way each is played. We need consistency there. Just like we're going to try and strive for consistency within our team. It's not just those guys. I mean, everybody's got to do their part, but that's the way it's been right now. And if it stays that way, they'll keep going until maybe someone emerges.